Hello and shalom. There. Alright, it is March 28th. Saturday, I think, or maybe it's a Friday. I don't remember. Kind of days are. Okay, so I have about 1 week left till I can go back to work. So yeah, latest. I'm starting to hear news that the government has already begun using military to go after people in New Jersey that are originally from New York and trying to seek shelter. I don't look into depths of that, but the point is, this is kind of expected. Situation like this, how dire it is. It is taking down the country, and at some point they were gonna start using the military. So it's kind of scary, but this is the road that lies ahead. There will be more use of the military, more use of drones, the surveillance state. It's not looking good. I'm trying to put my newspaper away. I had gone out and got the weekend. Kind of want to walk around with my glasses. Still trying to improve my vision. So I'm trying to run my glasses less and less blurry, but I think it's focusing my eyes to regain its muscles that I use for long distance sight. Okay, so on my walk, I still can't believe how compliant Americans are with all what's going on. The government says you need to shut down, you need to shelter in place. The whole country does it. There's some people that have been brave and refuse to follow that order when about their business. So I commend them for that. Whenever you go up against the government, because the government's wrong, I give 2 thumbs up to people that go up against the government. It's kind of cold, a windy day here in Mitchell, South Dakota. So yeah, on my walk, got to talking to one of my old coworkers' dad. I don't know his name, but coworker's name is Luke McCullough. He's in France now. I don't remember his dad's name, but he was on a bike. He pulled up beside me. I didn't recognize who he was. I was walking without my glasses, and when I had my glasses on, I still didn't recognize who he was. But then I remembered I met him at the trail park here in town, the bike park. So we got to talking. Told him I got back last week from Los Angeles to visit my rabbi. I think I kind of spooked him up. Kind of held his hand up, like, get away from me. But no, don't worry. I told him even if I had coronavirus, I'm still healthier than most people. Because I try to take good care of my body, eat organic, non-GMO food, try to get 8 hours of sleep, take multivitamins, liquid mostly, non-GMO, try to go after, take colloidal silver. I've been taking protein. I've been trying to gain more muscles and get a workout, but I slow down in protein taking because the gym is close, so I really know where to go. And days like this, it's not feasible to be outside and walking and do push-ups and sit-ups. Not much, but just walk. So we got talking about what's going on, and he believes it's an economic virus, and yes, he is right. It is taking down the economy, and I personally believe, regardless of whether you had the corona or not, what's going on in this country was going to happen regardless. So that's not good, because what it comes down to, America is broke, and America is headed for a collapse. So this is a little bit of that's the middle school. This is Cadwell Park. I need like a stabilizer. I'm gonna try to walk slow so it's not so shaky. So thank you for taking the time to listen to my thoughts and musing and ranting. The purpose behind it is I hope it does something to help you get better. It encourages you to take care of yourself, and most importantly, to trust God. Do not fear of that situation, as bad as it is. Yes, it's going to get worse, but never fear. So, yeah, here in America, I think we're here we go again, another one of those American rants. But you know what? You oughta shine the light to the darkness, and that's what I'm trying to do. But I think our society has gone for so long, gotten used to it, to being arrogant and prideful, trying to do things our way, and it manifests in how we treat others and how we treat the rest of the world. Like, I know the finger is being pointed at China for the Wuhan virus, but personally, I don't think the Chinese did it, because here in 2020, we have advanced to the point where you can genetically engineer a virus that attacks certain races of people and not affect others. Well, if the Chinese are at fault, then why are they being affected? Why have they been hit? So far, they've been hit with the hardest. Yeah, the number surpassed 100,000 for America. I think it surpassed China, but the Chinese are underreporting their numbers, so I still think they've been hit the hardest so far, for now, as of March 28, 2020. So, I personally believe it's the Satanists, globalists, those who worship Lucifer. They are the ones that released this virus. For some reason, they released it in China, probably to pit a war between the Chinese and Americans, which a lot of Americans have bought into, as far as their belief. And speaking of war, I think there was an article that potentially could be drafting, if needed to, if we do go into war. Well, I'm here to tell you, and this is my encouragement to everybody around the world: do not partake in these wars. They're a bunch of lies. It's designed to get you killed, to profit those who want this war. And right now, the American military industrial complex runs Pentagon. They, in large part, run the country, which, if you've ever lived in America, if you ever sat back, observe, and pay attention, and have discernment, you'll see that a lot of Americans actually worship the government more than they do God. So, the government says you need to shut down, shelter in place. The country did it. God said, worship me. Now, how many people are worshiping God? How many people are doing their part to expand the kingdom of God and following the biblical commandments, uplifting believers, giving their tithing, remembering the Shabbat, Sabbath day? And yes, that's biblical. It's part of the Ten Commandments. I've come across people who say they're Christians and they say that observing the Shabbat is not really a commandment. Yes, it is. It's in the part of the Ten Commandments. You can find it there. So, that's one thing McCullough and I talked about, is that this country has gotten further and further away from God, and we are reaping the repercussions of it all. So yes, that is all true. So, my apologies, I'm actually on a hill. It's there. I should get one of those selfies. I don't like the name, but I probably should if I'm gonna be doing this. Alright, still at the park. But yeah, that is true. When you get further away from God, you feel the effects. You reap what you sow. And unfortunately, we sowed a lot of bad things here on Earth. So yeah, back to the corona. That's part of the depopulation of the Luciferians, to depopulate the Earth. And a lot of people have bought into it. They're scared, they're nervous, they're frightened, and you've got people containing at home. And in some areas of the country, it's still cold, like here in South Dakota. I'd say it's in the 40s or 30s here. and they stay sheltered so long, isolated, they fall into depression. They start to get anxious, scared, nervous, and all sorts of physical, mental, social, and spiritual attack. And for a lot of them, it manifests into the physical realm, and they go through depression, and worse comes to worse, they may commit suicide. Because you gotta factor in the fact that not only are we sheltered in place, but a lot of people have lost their jobs or reduced hours. When you don't have a job, you lose your source of income, you lose your livelihood, and you lose the means to have a roof over your head, clothes to wear, food to eat, and vehicle to drive if you have one. And if you've got a family, take care of your family. If you're married, take care of your spouse. If you got your grandparents living with you, taking care of them, it's like you lose the ability to do all that. But no, the last few years, I'd say maybe starting around 2012 is when I started to really wonder what the heck is going on. And I think physically, about 2012 or 2013, I started to become a prepper. I started buying gold and silver in 2013, and when I was living in Arkansas, and then started buying food and water and stocking up. Of course, I went to Israel for about a month, and I gave most of my stuff to my sister, and which she ended up throwing a lot of it away. I even gave her some gold and silver in a security box, and she couldn't find it. She thinks her ex threw it away. So they said they couldn't find the key. I'm like, I left the key with you. There was 2 spare keys, and how do you throw a security box away? It's not small. It's not something like you could put in your pocket and lose it easily. No, security box is fairly big and it's heavy, and you have to know some. I even told her, and I even showed her there was precious metals in there and some money and other important things. But that said, it is right that you really should take care of yourself. I know others, we got loved ones that we should take care of, but you really should take care of yourself before you can take care of others. And that's not being selfish, because you cannot take care of other people if you don't have the ability to take care of yourself. Okay? So do what's right. Treat your body right, because we're in for a long battle that just kind of started. So the signs were there. The writing on the wall was there, and now we are at that point. So every day something new develops, and each day just seems we're becoming more and more communist, socialist. But you know what? We were already in a soft communism, in a sense that societies became more and more enslaved to the government slash military slash banks. So here in America, we're quick to point out that the Chinese are communist, Russians are communist, the other side of the world is communist. Well, central banking is a tenet of communism. It's designed to make people broke, poor, so the banks and the government can rule over them. And the truth is, statistically, most Americans are in debt. So that part is working, and I think you're starting to see more and more that we are becoming communists. So you can argue all you want, but you can't argue the fact that the majority of Americans are financially struggling, especially what's going on now. They're already struggling in the past. This just makes it kind of worse. So probably after this end, maybe do a turn around and head back home. So today, although it's Shabbat, I did blow the shofar. I felt I needed to heed the warnings, and I didn't don tefillin yesterday, so I donned it today. It's a prayer for the situation we're in, and some personal prayers for forgiveness on my behalf from Yeshua, and I pray that His will be done, not mine, but His will. And the task that I need to do today will be done. according to him, and let it be done in his timing, not mine. So, trying to think, is this water? No, it's not. Trying to think if there's anything I needed to talk about or cover. So, yeah, the stimulus package, that'll relieve for a few weeks, but that's just gonna make the situation more and more. I need to head out to higher grounds. This year's starting to become wet. I need to keep my feet dry because I still have to walk back. So, yeah, 4 years and like 5 months I've been in South Dakota, and I am looking into moving in a few months. Likely what I will do is, because I'm maxing out all my leave days, because I was gone for a week in Cali, and I am on self-quarantine for 2 weeks, 14 days. So, by the time said and done, probably have maxed out my vacation days, so I'll probably stick around LifeQuest, work, save up money, build up my vacation days, and maybe take off from there. Now, I don't really know what I'm gonna do, because I did want to try the homestead farming in Oregon or New Mexico, but at the same time, I'm also going to show you what to do. At the same time, I'm close to being approved to immigrate to Israel, and that's been a lifelong dream of mine, or maybe not lifelong, but it's been a dream of a long time, and it took a lot of work and effort into being approved, because I do want to be an Israeli Jew. I think it's starting to dry. So, I don't know. I do know I want to get out of South Dakota, move to where there is a Jewish community, where I can go to synagogue, partake in an active Jewish lifestyle, fluent in Hebrew, and just be amongst my people. I'd like to be in a Sephardic Mizrahim Jewish community. I think it's a better fit for me, because I am not Ashkenazim. And yeah, as South Dakota is just not a place for a Mizrahim Jew to be in. Better to be in Israel, or better to be where you're amongst people that can relate to you and you can relate to. Otherwise, when was the last time a Sephardic Jew was ever in Mitchell, South Dakota, ever lived? I've never heard of it. So, I'd be curious to know when and how often. I'm guessing if there was, this probably for school. DW. Alright, I'll probably wrap it up. In future, I'd like to make a specific video asking the Saudis to start trading their oil outside of the petrodollar. I encourage them. It's your oil, it's in your wealth, in your territory, and you should not be forced to have to trade in American dollars. Other countries that want to buy your oil, they ought to be able to pay in their own currency, and Saudis, you should be able to accept it and sell your oil for them. And I encourage other Persian Gulf countries to do the same thing. Alright, Shabbat Shalom, God bless, thank you for listening to me, and trust God. He's your only way out, please.